Did we just score albino shells again? Yup, we sure did.
And ooh, there's shells here too.
I'm excited. This is the first one of those that I've ever found. How cool. A new shell.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. And another albino prickly cockle from Sunset Beach. Yeah. We're at Sunset Beach. Monster shelling conditions at pass-a-grille where we were earlier. Now we're gonna try this place out.
Hello, Shell Buddies, and welcome back. We're going to take a quick adventure today over to Sunset Beach and see what we can find. Now, this trip was part of going more than one place on that day. The pass-a-grille footage is coming, but there's a bit more of it to go through to edit it. And the Fort DeSoto footage, unfortunately, didn't work out. Don't worry, you're not going to miss anything from DeSoto anyway.
And ooh, there's shells here too. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Alright, now I went brave here. It'll be my first water shelling without boots in many months. If it's not too cold. Alright, so we have a rack line here. Intermediate one here. Small pile by the rocks. Not a big one. Then we might see more maybe on the other side. We'll have to go take a look. There are some shells further up. So, yeah, John's gonna work that upper line. He didn't feel like putting his boots back on, so he wants to stay dry. Me, like a crazy woman, I put my water shoes on, figuring, hey, why not? So low tide, quite some time ago, 5 something this morning, and it's now 11 o'clock, so we're at probably almost high tide, and the water is creeping quite a ways up the rocks. Not that cold though. Well, let's get really wet and find out. Let's see. Ooh, no, not bad. And look at the shells in here. Holy smokes. Okay, well, it is a little cooler than I thought it was. Cut it up my ankles a little bit and a little more true representation. So, usually this is a good spot when it's low tide because a lot is exposed. But as you can see, there's rack piles here and a shell pile, so it won't really matter. Meantime, we've got to look at the back side of the pavilion now. And the kids' play area has been replaced. And once we get a little further up, we'll be able to see if anything's progressing at the pavilion itself. But they do have the playground straightened out. Alright, well, let's start out with this nice little alternate talon. That's a great little shell. Alternate talon, fat in the front and skinny in the rear. I like these. I don't know why. They just, something about them. And they feel like records. Like if you ever had records. I'm dating myself now, I'm sure. Yes, I had records as a kid, but yeah. It feels like a record. It's pretty fun. Let's see what other goodies we got here. Angle the camera down a little. Yeah, let's try that. See, the shell's a little better now. And we got a Sunray Venus clam right in front of me. A little broken calico clam there. That's a pretty one. Nice Sunray Venus. Now, when it's just a couple of inches of water, it actually isn't cold. But when you get it up on your calves, it is. Oh, wow. Look at us here. Calico clam. Nice big alternate talon. a number of them. Actually, there's one there. Here's another one here. And a good-sized white Atlantic simile. Let's get that guy out of there. Nice white Atlantic simile. That peachy interior with the spots. That's a really cool shell. So some fungi. Trying to kick us off here with a calico clam. Awesome. Now, didn't see a lot of the alternate talons at pass-a-grille, but they don't really show up where we were, actually. There's a lady-in-waiting. A lady-in-waiting clam right there. That's nice.
I've never really gone over the lady-in-waiting Venus clam much, the Chianopsis interpurpurea, but she is one of many types of Venus clams that we have here around this area of the Gulf. According to Bailey Matthews, there's 20 species and counting in the Venus clam family. But we're going to take a look at the lady-in-waiting today and take a look at how you can tell the difference between that and some of the other ones that are in the same family and are marked similarly on the beach. Comparison online for the little Venus clams, you know, the lady-in-waiting versus the imperial versus the crossbarred versus, I think this one's a quahog, but it also could be a juvenile princess, almost, with the way that's kind of squared off. But this just really shows like how similar they look, but you can find the difference in the identification stuff. Look at some smaller details. For example, a crossbarred Venus clam is going to always come with these funky colors inside, yellows and purples, and you're going to feel these ribs going this way, coming from the hinging area, going out to the edge of the shell. Along with the ones that go this way, you will feel the ones that go this way. So it make these little square-like shapes almost in between the ribs. Imperial Venus is an easy one to see too. We don't find this guy very often around on the beaches. For us, in my neck of the woods, this is a more common fossil pile find. We find these in fossil form more than we find them on the beach, actually, you know, recent modern ones. Now here we have the lady-in-waiting, and I always refer to that triangular shape on this particular shell. Also with the markings, which are going to vary from what you see here in this picture too. But there's a triangular shape to this shell that is mimicked a little bit with the crossbarred Venus, but you can tell from the surface of the crossbarred the difference between the two. Now this one here is, according to this, a juvenile quahog clam. But it also reminds me of the Princess Venus a little bit too, because they have sort of a squared off snub sort of a shape. The Princess clam's a lot thinner than the quahog, so when you find those guys on the beach, they're a little easier to tell apart. But these markings could get you confused when you're looking in particular at the Juvie quahog and this particular one, the lady-in-waiting. So look for that triangular shape on this shell, whereas it's more rounded for the quahog and the princess. So there you have it. When you come across these little beauties on the beach, now you have a little more information to help you tell the difference between the lady-in-waiting versus some of the other Venus clams that we have.
That's nice. Triangular shape with the fun markings on it. And that's a great little shell too. See, now this kind of stuff we would find maybe by pass-a-grille, Paradise Grill area. But we find that here at Sunset. So it's fun because it's like we find a bunch of different stuff, even though we really have not gone very far up the beach realistically.
If you're enjoying all these cool Central Gulf Coast of Florida shells, then I've got two suggestions for you. Number one, go ahead, hit the like, the share, the subscribe button, and actually go for the bells for the notifications too. That way YouTube will let you know when we post some more fun content from this area, and it'll also help other people coming to my area looking for shells find my channel so they know where to find those shells. And number two, if you are a shell enthusiast or life adjacent to somebody who is, take a look in the description or at this link right here below. I released a brand new coloring book on Amazon that, instead of being the same old AI generated stuff that looks the same as everyone else's, what you're going to get is my hand-drawn pictures from my own shells. So if that interests you, go ahead and take a look at this in the description, and let's get back out on the beach.
Another great alternate talon. Look at that. Boy, they're pristine. Look at these. They're stunners. Perfect. Perfect shells. And a nice little golden up near the top, the peak, or the hinges. Nice. So yeah, kind of fun to come to Sunset Beach and see slightly different things than we see over at pass-a-grille. That looks like a fossil from a Venus clam. It's got Venus clam shape. Not perfect on either end, but he also doesn't have Venus clam markings either, which is kind of fun. I'm passing by some of more of those alternate talons that I was seeing. There's a lot of them. They're all over. Ooh, there's a nice southern horse mussel. Beautiful purple interior. Look at that. Purple and iridescent and gorgeous. Beautiful horse mussel. Is this a jingle? Because it's huge. What is this guy? It is a crazy kind of thick jingle. Wow. That's neat.
I was wrong on the beach. This is not a jingle shell at all. This is a new to me shell called a constricted macoma. I am wrong. That is not a jingle, and the only reason I figured it out is because I was looking into the talons to talk about some of the talon shells we have. That in my hands there is a constricted macoma. Now, this would be the first one of these guys I ever found, but as I was editing my footage and I looked at the shell again, I saw there was a hinging mechanism. Jingles, you won't see that. You won't see a big heavy hinge on a jingle at all. So I started looking at it a little more closely, and I said, oh my gosh, that's a constricted macoma. I've never found one of those before. Not only that, I didn't even know that's what it was when I had it in my hand. But take a closer look. You'll see there's a hinging mechanism up there at the top. It is thin, see-through, and you can see the growth lines going around it. That is a constricted macoma. Boy, it really does pay to look your stuff up when you're going through your video footage, I'll tell you, because I'm excited. This is the first one of those that I've ever found. How cool. A new shell. Keep that too. And just a lot of commons. There's, more of the talons, pieces of bay scallop all over, pieces of quahog all over, a few dulcinias, some pen shells, Atlantic giant cockle pieces. Hey, there's a nice Venus clam though. That one's in great shape. Yeah. Nice Sunray Venus clam. How lovely. There's another of the Atlantic simile. It's not in as good a shape, but its size though. A little roughed up out here. Something got it damaged it on the outside, like it tried to drill a hole in it or something like that. Now this one's not as peach up toward the top either, but the size of it is still pretty darn nice. So that one's gonna go in the bag too. There's a bigger calico clam here. Geez, with all these talons, I would think that there would be baby moons, or there would be baby's ears, or, stuff like that with this stuff. There's a nice little fine, tiny shell, though. Oh, the wind took it. You booger. It's a purplish Tageless, but it's really faded. You just barely see that line in the middle. And then here is this nice calico clam, and another Sunray Venus that's bizarre, kind of discolored and very funky colored actually. I'm gonna put him in my bag. That's a neat one. This is fun. Hello, Daedalus. Pieces of sand dollar all over the place too. Lots of alternate talons here, loads of them. There's another nice calico clam there, a big one.
with some interesting anomalies. Right there, this line is where it's got kind of a ridge, and it's darker on the other side of it. I love a good weirdo. I do. I love a good weirdo. Let's see what else is down here. Now, I'm betting. Oh yeah, look. See? Under a layer of a bit of sand, there's tons and tons more shells. So this is one of those places where digging might be fun. Are you nice? You look nice. No, you're a little chipped up. Baby bay scallop. A lot of smashed up bay scallops here. Well, this is fun. This you might mistake for plastic, but that is a piece of an egg collar from the moon snail. It makes this mucousy substance and glues this sand together and makes a ring around its little egg pile to protect them. That's kind of fun. Look at that guy. That's a sunray Venus also, and that weird coloring. Finding anything, honey? Nothing yet, huh? They're doing a couple of neat things. A lot of alternate talons today. Is there shells on the other side of the rocks? Ooh, a piece of an angel wing. Nice, babe.
Not done
yet. Nice. Hello, horse. Found a lot of you today. We're gonna be a horse party when we get home. Oh, look at this lovely little orange. How great is this guy? He's beautiful. Super pretty. So yeah, it's different here. Completely different than what we were seeing at Piaggi. Now if we dig in this, we might find stuff too, because this is kind of built up a bit. And there's a lot in the rocks, which is actually kind of where I want to look. Because I can sit on one. Ooh, look at the colors on this. Wow. Oh, don't run away. Come here. Look at this one, honey.
Wow.
That's gorgeous. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now, normally there's way more shells here, but I know they're all in the water. I saw them a few minutes ago. Because it's not low tide, it's high tide. So I picked my spots today carefully to where we didn't have to go very far to get a lot of good stuff. My bag is a mess. Oh, look how nice and dark that one is, the brown. Oh, babe, everything is buried with a layer of sand. Look at that. All kinds of stuff under there. Look at that gorgeous guy. And this cute little button, blown out top. There's a yellow. Nice little yellow prickly cockle. So there is stuff if you dig around. Wow, that's a nice scallop up there. Look, and there's a little whelk. There you go, guys. There's a lightning whelk for you.
A what?
A lightning whelk.
Oh, look at that one.
That's one of the shells people come to Florida to find.
Really?
Yep. And we just...
the lightning?
Lightning whelk.
Well.
W-H-E-L-K.
And right on, I can't walk out there because I got my shoes on.
There's another whelk right there behind that rock. See it?
And there's a moon snail.
It's kind of brown and tan.
Behind this one, you said?
Yep, in that shadow right there, we almost pointed right at it. Go forward about 18 inches. There you go.
And then
That's a nice one. That's a beaut. Oh my. It's quite piled into the rocks today. Oh. All right, I'm gonna park myself on a rock and just goof off and dig around, I think, for a minute. And yes, there is shells on the other side of this too. Oh boy, John, look at the piles down the beach.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, there's more stuff here than I thought. It's just moved. Which, you know, after a big storm, happens. A lot of yellow cockles here, as usual. I can see about 10 of them all around me. There's a yellow. And a yellow.
Right there.
Nope, piece of a bay scallop. There's a yellow, there's a yellow. And Sunset Beach always has the prettiest yellow cockles here. But look at that scallop. Oh. Yeah, look at these guys. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. There's a buttercup lucine. The top of an orange true tulip. Holy cow. Wow. That's 7-8 inches worth of shells there. Alright, I really did want to sit. So had we come here earlier, I'm sure we would have found a lot more. Not sorry we went where we did though, because pass-a-grille was astonishing. A little bit pink and yellow on that calico scallop. How nice. That's lovely. Alright, so this is kind of what I was expecting. There's sand and shells, then sand and shells, then sand and shells. So this would be a little more digging than I'm up to today. Honestly, I just don't want to work that hard. No, I just don't. Ooh, whoa, pow. Look at that yellow. Nice. Oh, kinds of stuff over here. And it doesn't look like anybody's really dug in the back of this. And truthfully, all these backs in these piles, sometimes I get really lucky. Ah, there's a spotted slipper. A nice one. Ooh, and an Eastern white slipper. A little weirdness to it. Big bump on it. A couple of fun finds there. Hello. Look at you. Like an egg. So yellow, like a yolk. Wow. Just sort of skimming the top layer off to see what else is here. Ooh, you're pretty. This pile smells a little funky, not gonna lie. It's strange, like the tide got higher with a whole bunch more shells over at pass-a-grille. And we're not that far away, but it didn't. Maybe they're gonna get theirs tonight. We're a couple of days before the full moon, and that's when some of our biggest tide swings actually happen, so. Alright. Let's see what the other side looks like. Made note of some serious scarping happening along these brand new dunes. You don't see it quite as badly on this side as you do right here. But there's a drop. And back in the day, before Dahlia came through here, there was such a drop that there were stairs to get down. So this happens here. And I hate to say it, but Pinellas County is going to have to find a way to deal with water and sand transport around this particular spot, because a lot of stuff is very close here. And this had a significant drop off about 6 feet down there at one point. I'll have to go back into my old footage to kind of show it, but so we get a nice big pile of shells on this side too, stuff washing into this little corner. Yeah, they're gonna have to figure something out here. They spent millions of dollars putting that sand where you see it, only to have it get carved up and a bunch of it get moved away. And the properties are very close, infrastructure is very close, the road is just on the other side of the pavilion building. So this is one of those spots that they're gonna have to really keep an eye on with the storms after what happened here this past fall. Tons of yellow cockles here. Big bunch of stuff washed into the rocks. Piece of a true tulip down there. I'm just not ready to be in one spot just yet. And also, betting there's a bunch of shells under this sand. Oh yeah. Yep. So more shells here than you think there are. Much like what we saw in a bunch of places at Lido. Ooh. What's your deal? Oh, you're mucky. You're really mucky. I do want to paw in that pile to my left, where stuff sort of washed up against stuff. But I want to poke around here too, because I know there's shells right here. Ooh, that's cold. A lot of shells here, but a lot of stuff is broken. Beautiful calico clam. That's nice. Now we found some really cool rare stuff further down the line at PAG. And part of why I'm here today after the fact is I wanted to see if it was going to be the same over here. And if we could find anything weird and different. You know, something like a strawberry cockle or something like that. Could be fun. Bam! Look at that. Woo! And it's driving me nuts knowing there's shells over here that I'm not seeing. Oh boy. There's lots right there. Yeah, a little tough to see through it today. Water level's a little high. Ooh, very nice. Oh yeah. That's a beautiful bay. Gorgeous. That's a nice one too. Oh boy. Look at that dark brown. Wow. They're gorgeous. Hello, lovely. That's a really nice bay scallop with the darks. Oh yeah. Loving that. Oh my goodness. 2 lucky limpets. 6 inches apart from each other. Wow. Okay. That means something good around here somewhere. Look at you. There. Blow the sand out of the holes. Show off their keyholes a little better. One of them is a rosy and the other one is a cayenne. And they're both lovely, lovely, lucky limpets. Limpets are lucky. Whenever I find limpets, I find something else good. Cool. Look, it's a little snowy egret. Oh, just caught a fish. Whoa, that was awesome. Oh, hello, friend. Still pretty young, pretty bright on his feet. And 8-10 feet from me. I mean, just doesn't even care. They care less that I was there watching him eat. It's awesome. Oh, living here is like living in a National Geographic magazine. Wildlife and beautiful everywhere. So let's see what's up here in these piles. I know John was walking through this before anyway. Ah, there's a comb bittersweet. Isn't that one beautiful? Oh my goodness. How pretty. Get some of that sand off of there. Hello. You're lovely. A little comb bittersweet. And another calico clam. Some more fun, funky colors. Nice. There's a pretty orange jingle. That color kind of stood out. Isn't that beautiful? Now I can also tell too that there's a skim of sand on top of stuff here. It looks like there's more stuff under that's buried here too. There's a nice, gorgeous orange jingle. Right here's a crossbar Albinos. It's like super yellow inside. It's orange almost. That's lovely. I found a couple lucky limpets, babe. Right here in this rack line. Yeah, just back that way a little.
The pieces are getting bigger.
Ooh. You finding them up there or in the rack right here?
High rack.
High rack, yeah?
Yeah, that was the biggest piece I found.
Oh my gosh.
There ain't nothing up there though. You wanna go somewhere else?
Well, to be honest, I wanted to dig in that pile
Okay,
for a
let's
minute.
go dig in that pile.
And I just wanted to stroll a little around
Okay,
here, that's
do
all.
that. I'm gonna sit down.
Okay. Oh wow, look at that white and pink down there. That's lovely. Oh. Gosh, yeah. Really nice. Beautiful little calico scallop. Beautiful. Another sailor's ear. And a nice big buttercup lucine. And a chalky. There's a chalky lucine. And we got here. Nice sunray Venus. Gorgeous little sunray Venus clam. So other than the alternate talons being here, not seeing too much different than what we saw at PAG. A little less of certain types of shells. He's kind of nice. Black bay scallop, take that guy. There's a big chunk of an old broken rock. See what these bright colors are. Broken bay scallop. And a piece of... Alright, this thing wants a new battery already, but I'm gonna pick up that Pennsylvania lucine first. That's a stunner. That one is gorgeous.
Okay, note to self, when the camera says it wants another battery, listen to it. Because I had to stop and change it right here.
Alright, that's better. Had to come change my battery. Picked up that gorgeous yellow scallop and this perfect Pennsylvania lucine. Gosh, that is a beauty. Look at that shell with that nice ridge down the side. There's still some periostracum stuck in it.
Oh, what a cool find, a Pennsylvania Lucine. We find their buttercup cousins around here a lot, but we don't see the Pennsylvania as much. And it's made distinctive and easy to identify by that big ridge that you see over there on the side of the shell. See in the center of this one over on the left-hand side, there's like a step-down ridge on that shell. Makes them super easy to identify. Now, they're not called Pennsylvania because that's where they're found. Obviously, they're all throughout our coastal waters here. Has more to do with them being found back in the fossil record first, I think. But I also did not know about this shell, that it had this really cool periostracum on it. Usually I only ever find remnants stuck in that little edge groove. But look at this shell when it's all covered with it. Almost looks like a leafy jewel box almost, with just small leaves. Or like it's got a shag carpet on the outside of it. And of course it collects a little thicker there in that ridge, as you can see along the right hand side of this particular shell. So not a super common find, was glad to find it.
That is a nice shell here at Sunset Beach. There's another comb bittersweet. That's kind of fun. That one's a nice one. Cutie pie. Is that a ginormous egg cockle? Ouch, just smacked in the face with my keys. Look at the size of that beast. He's not in awesome shape at all. He's terrible. But just to show how big it was, that is cool. I'm gonna leave him here because he's a little punky. So here we are, and a bunch of stuff that's piled up by the rocks. Put some of this down and see if there's anything cool further in. I'm not sure that there is, but it's worth a look. And look at this that I just turned out. What a beautiful scallop. That's really nice. Love that. Nice big Sunray Venus clam. That's lovely. And I keep finding these weird jingles with ridges in them. And I want to know a little more about these. I used to think maybe they just formed up against something else, but if they did, they might have gotten stuck to it. So I don't know. I'd like to know more about this.
Now, I did go looking for information on rib jingles, and I didn't come up with anything other than being formed to like giant Atlantic cockles or something like that. The rib spacing is a little too big for it to be bay scallops and calicos, though.
Let's see. Give my fish a little over here. Hey! Look at that! A beautiful little horse conch. Oh, how lovely. Let's get him wet. That's pretty. Ooh. Is it? It is! Oh, teeny baby moon. He's cute too. Little fly-spike cirrus. So yeah, there is some fun stuff in here. I can't believe I got a horse. All the times those horse conches teased me, today has more than made up for. And hey, that's a white-crested tellin. Wow. Oh my gosh. There might actually be more here than we think. Some pretty good finds already. Nice little orange-based scallop. Yeah, it pays to just kind of skim this top surface off because the stuff underneath it is wet and actually looks more vibrant and pretty. Alright, so the little moon and the white-crested tellin are going to go in my tiny container before I lose them because this wind will take them right out of my hand. It's blowing about 15, 16 miles an hour here. And then that little bay is fragile. Put the yellow in my bag and let's get the horse wet. Let's check him out. So many broken sand dollars here too. And so many nice scallops that are yellow. I mean that. Like, I've picked up 3 or 4 of these at least now. Really pretty. And I see loads of shells right there. So that's where the rest of the pile is. Let's get horsey wet. Heck yeah. That is a beauty. That is a lovely little horse conch. Super nice. There's a nice calico clam. Another gorgeous yellow. That's a nice calico clam too. He's pretty. And look at this big hinged dosinia. Gorgeous. Lots of really pretty stuff here. Nicer if I quit dropping it, I guess. My goodness.
I like that though.
What's that, moon?
Well,
Oh,
gray and orange.
he's pretty.
There's another whelk right there.
Yeah.
Murex. Right here.
And right there, 2 nice apple murexes. John's got the other one. I'm trying to move stuff out of the way so we can keep pulling this down and see what all is under there too. Oh ho! A little dove snail. He's awesome. Nice. Little rusty dove snail. Oh, he's been around for a while, so he's lost some of his color. He does have a little predation hole in him. That's okay. You very rarely find these guys, so I will keep it. And of course, that lovely apple murex with it. How nice. Do you see it?
Huh?
Do you see it?
No.
Another albino prickly cockle from Sunset Beach. Yeah. Let's see what else I found. Got a little fossil olive that's nice and dark. A piece of a worm. Pretty calico. And an actual albino. An albino prickly cockle. I do love those very much. Alright, Sunset Beach. Yeah, that little guy, that's a little crown conch. Been looking for one of those today too. Let's get that one wet also. Let's see if it's just mucky or if it's a fossil. Put these guys in my bag here. We'll turn around and get this guy wet. It's hard to say. He may be a fossil. There is color in there though, and his detail is so nice. Nice crown conch. All right. Look at this. There's so much more here than what you can see. So much stuff covered. Another prickly albino. Good gracious. Look at that. Wow. All right. See the light right through that guy. He's beautiful. There's a lovely banded tulip. prickly, John. Look. Wow. Oh. Heck yeah. Finding some cool stuff. There's a nice dark scallop with a couple of barnacles on him. That's gorgeous too. Well, 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 Sunset Beach. Giving us some pretty good stuff. There's another nice tulip right there. Hello, beautiful. It's another albino prickly cockle. A couple of banded tulips and a great bay scallop. Well, I'm on a roll with these today. Another one. Another one. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. So some fun stuff coming out over here by the rocks. There's a baby cone. A little Florida cone there. He's in ratty shape, but we'll see what he looks like bleached. Nice olive. And look at this little juvie fighting conch fossil. It is pristine. Wow. Kind of a nice find right there. Another one of these. I can't even believe how many of these we found today. A number of them here. A bunch at pass-a-grille. That's awesome. Yep, you can see the light through that guy too. Gorgeous. I don't know what it is about after a storm, but that's when we find those. Don't find them on the regular, only after a big wind and a dust up and a blow-in. Here we have a Princess Venus, an Apple Murex, and a juvenile fighting conch. Princess Venus again, snubbed off here at the front. There's a nice little calico. Oyster came right off of it. That's a really pretty one. Alright. Lost my balance there for a second. Had to kind of get myself collected. Okay. I want to hit the pile, but I want to sit. So I'm going to sit here, I guess. Ooh. And right by me, oh, nice stuff right by me. Horse? Aw. Yeah, a couple of nice scallops. Oh, Apple Murex. And a Paul Newman. Nice little shark eye. Gorgeous. Here's a lady in waiting. Pretty lady in waiting, huh? Very nice. Oh, lovely. Let's see what's over here. Oh, there's a nice auger. Oh. Oh, for a second I thought it was alive. No, just a piece of shell and some water in it. Nice dark colored auger. Oh, that's great.
That was sticking out.
Oh, geez.
It's a rock.
You got April fooled. Time to move around.
I'm moving.
My back's starting to kill me. Alright, let's see if I can get up off of this rock because it's kind of on the low side. Oh, babe, can you hold the walker so I don't fall? Okay. Alright. I'm gonna poke around on the backside of this pile a little bit more since I found that horse over here a little earlier. like I was before, just kind of skimming the surface and seeing what's underneath. Ooh, that's pretty. And there's a little apple murex. What'd you find? Ooh, a discolored nutmeg. That's fun. Oh, a little broken baby whelk. Nice calico scallop. And a fun worm. Well, honey, I think if we're gonna go to DeSoto, we should probably think about going. So I'm gonna pick up 2 more really nice finds and call it here for Sunset Beach. And here they are. They're gonna be my last shells of the day. Another beautiful white Atlantic semele. And this gorgeous little scallop. A little stretched out, looks like a baby ruff. A couple of fun finds here. And oh, can't leave that behind. Is that one another albino? Nope, that one's just fossilized in white. So now would be a great time to compare the two and show the difference. So now you can look at them and tell the difference. See how this albino one kind of glows and it's see-through? And this one is just chalky and not see-through. So that's how you tell the difference between an albino and just a fossilized one. All in all though, had a lot of fun here at Sunset Beach. Weren't here a super long time, but we found some pretty cool stuff. And we're just gonna say thank you to Sunset Beach.
Sunset Beach. Ugh. What is it with Sunset Beach and the albino prickly cockles? I don't know. I don't understand why they routinely show up there and not so much other places. There's an environmental factor for this, a genetic factor for this. I really do not know. All I can tell you is that if you're looking for one, Sunset Beach would be the first place I would send you to go get one. After a really big storm, maybe on Anna Maria, and maybe over at Pass-a-Grille as well. But Sunset Beach, after a bigger swell, consistently produces these beautiful semi-translucent white colorless albino prickly cockles. They're stunning. They're stunning. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to show you at the end how it's different from an older, chalkier, fossilized one that's not see-through at all. It was pretty cool. And not just the albinos. Oh, those yellows. Oh my gosh, the yellow cockles there are gorgeous too. But we came up with a lot of yellow scallops, which is a little unusual. And how about that constricted Macoma, man? That was awesome. I didn't even know what I had until I actually was editing this, going through it and looking it up. I thought it was some kind of weird oddball jingle shell. And I was so excited to see that that was actually something new to me that I hadn't found before. So that was super fun too. Coming along on this really fun adventure to Sunset Beach where we hit it again with the albinos as well as some really other super cool finds. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel too, because coming up for Mother's Day, we have a shell crafting project. We're going to have something special that I'm making with coquinas just because of Mother's Day and because I found so many out on Longboat. So next week's Mother's Day video is probably going to be released a couple of days early to give you a chance to whip up something together fun, or to go ahead and order your mom or your grandma or your aunt or your daughters or any of your friends that are shellers a copy of my cool Color the Ocean coloring book. It makes fantastic Mother's Day gifts since it's just right around the corner. Go ahead and take a look in the description of the video for a link to where you can go ahead and find that on Amazon. Hope you enjoyed this week's video, and make sure if you want to have adventures like these that you know what you need to do. Get out there and go shelling! And go ahead at the end of the video and click on one of these 2 video links that you're going to see above, because those are the shelling adventures that YouTube thinks you would like to watch next. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you again right here next week from the beach.